Alright, welcome everyone to another Tuesday review. And this time, I have for you a game called Fell Seal, I Can Talk, I promise, Arbiter's Mark. This game is a tactics RPG. If you've ever played a tactics RPG, you kind of know what to expect. Turn-based combat with positioning characters, attacking, gaining experience per attack. You've played Final Fantasy Tactics, you'll be familiar with this game's mechanics because it has job classes that you kind of do for a while until you master, then switch it out. Let's get into the game. I'll play the game that I've already started here. I'm going to go into here real quick, show you. This is kind of your menu right here. We have your different job classes. I've recruited some people. We have some people that are part of the story. So like this girl right here, this guy here, and then these two over here, they are story characters. Everyone else is recruited. You can recruit all kinds of different characters and such. Your story characters will have classes that are specific to them that only they can access. Rainer here, I've not found his specific class yet, but I know she has the marked class. This one over here, she has a Demon Knight class that acquired later in the story. I won't tell you why or how, but that's her specific class. He has the Anatomist class, which is his specific class. No one else has access to that. Other than that, the other classes, everyone else has access to. So if you go to class change here, I've not unlocked all the classes yet. The starter ones, the ones that she's mastered. I've permanently gained those buffs, so on the bottom of those buffs are things you permanently gain once you master a class. Then you can move on to the next one. All kinds of classes to play with, all kinds of things to kind of go with. So you have the Assassin, Reaver, Ranger, Scoundrel, Gunner, Peddler, Mender, Alchemistic, Plague Doctor, Wizard, Druid, all kinds of different classes you can access. It's really cool, like the amount of different classes, different buffs they get. You can go ahead and master every class. I will warn you right now, it's going to require a lot of grinding. Game time for this, I've seen anywhere from like 30 some odd hours, 30 to 40 hours to up to 50 hours to beat the main story. Possibly 60 to 70 for doing completionists, like trying to master every job class there to try to get all the buffs. That's entirely up to you. You can do that if you want to. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I probably won't do that for every character. I might do it for some, but definitely not all of them. As you get into each character, so if I go like her class, job class right here, you go to abilities, you can learn abilities, and then as you learn each one, you learn all the abilities finally with your AP, you master it. And then you can move on. Once you go to set your class, you can also set abilities. So from class, you get like your passives in the class as well as your main power or abilities in that class. Then you have a custom ability class that is like your subclass. So I have her set to Knight, which has all the Knight abilities. Then you have your other passives that you've learned from learning them from other classes that you can equip, 2 of them at most. So you can have 4 passives, 2 from the class you have on right now, 2 from ones that you've learned. So you can really customize characters, really make them as you want them to be, play with different combinations of classes and different passives to see which works best for the kind of character you want that character to particularly be. You do have counter abilities, so you have several counter abilities that you can have. One is going to, someone attacks you, it inflicts slow. Someone attacks you, grants thorns to you, so any other attacks will be met with a counter attack, or just have counter attack. Thorns affects people even at a distance, whereas counterattack, they have to be close to you if you have a close range weapon, or within range of your long range weapon if you have a distance weapon, whether it be like bow and arrow, crossbow, gun, with the gunner class. There's a few characters that I can have, a few that I'm able to have in here. You can have more characters than this though. I mean, I've seen a screen where people have so many more characters set up. And it's just up to you to have as many or as few characters. You can just do mainly story characters with a few ones that you've recruited. You can build a literal army of characters to just do whatever and have them fight for you and kind of rotate them out if you want. That, again, up to you if you want to spend that much time doing that in this game. You really don't need a huge army, but you can. Get into combat here real quick. So let me go to this first area here real quick to kind of show you some easy combat. So these green areas used to be red, and they're actual like story combat areas. Once you beat them, they turn green, and you can go patrol the area. You do so to beat more enemies, to earn more AP for your classes, to earn the abilities to master the classes, to also gain experience. Now, this does have the thing to take advantage of, where you can basically surround a character, an enemy character, with your characters, like one on each side, 4 altogether, and just take turns healing and hitting them. And you could do that. You could do that and get a bunch of levels, and it's kind of funny to do so. As you do abilities and you attack characters, you will actually gain experience and level up. As you are hit by enemies, as enemies attack you and do abilities, they gain experience and they will also level up. So having a long drawn out battle, you think, oh, I'm just going to gain experience, but be careful because your enemy is gaining experience too, and they are getting stronger. There are some battles, like story battles, that will have certain win conditions, like defeat a certain person to win. These patrol battles are basically just beat everyone, just destroy everyone in order to win. So I've arranged my party here pretty balanced. 2 healer, 1 with buff and heal, 1 heal mainly. I've got the 2 gunners, 2 distance characters basically who can attack from range. I have 2 melee knight characters that can attack close up, so very well balanced. You can arrange your party however you want, however it fits your play style. That's the cool thing. You could just do a full melee tough characters that can take hits and are tough to beat. You can do like a lot of spellcasters if you want. It's entirely up to you how you arrange your party. Battle is, you have turn based, so basically like on the top you have each picture, so it'll take turns. It's not like, okay, your turn and then enemy turn. It is each individual takes a turn in line. So you see on the top there, like where everyone falls. The first 4, actually first 5 are my characters. Then you have one of the enemy characters, then one of my characters, and some more enemy characters, back to one of mine, and starts over again. There's certain buffs you can do that will kind of affect the order. So right now we're going to do bullet infusion, focus, all kinds of things. You can play with the characters. They all have different abilities. Work with each class. Find out like what their strengths are, what the weaknesses are, and then just go from there. And again, tactics, it's like kind of like playing chess. It's moving yourself into advantageous positions in regard to that kind of character that you're actually playing. Like I'm going to do fleet of foot right now on my 2 gunners and my healer. And there we go. So now we can move freely on the board very easily. Move him. Bam. Fleet of foot just makes it I can move farther. So you have a certain distance you can move, and you're just trying to get to the enemy so you can defeat them and win. Now one thing you can do, you can actually, if you didn't want to move, like I moved just now, and say I didn't want to move to there, you can hit, B, and you go right back. You can undo moving. You cannot undo casting a spell or doing an ability. So once you do that, that is done. But if you move somewhere, you're like, you know what, I changed my mind, I don't want to move just yet, I want to cast an ability or cast a spell and then move. You can undo the move by hitting the B button or hitting whatever button is cancel on your controller that you use. Either way. So we go move, boop, I'll move her here. Battles are pretty lengthy, I will say right now. It's good and bad, I guess. So If you can do an ability after moving, if you're not able to attack, you'll gain experience for just doing that ability. So I had her do like chivalry and defend, and she gained experience from that. So anytime, if you're not able to attack, if you can do an ability to buff a character, buff yourself, whatever, it's advised that you do so because you'll gain experience every time. It just helps you to level up as you go. Enemy moves. There is quite the variety in character sprites, and especially when you're recruiting as well or facing enemies. There's a kind of variety that you have to choose from. You can have your character that you recruit have their appearance change based on class or stay the same. It's entirely up to you. All kinds of options when recruiting. It's really nice. You go to the guild in a town to recruit. You don't go into a town and explore. You just go to the town spot on the map. You're like, okay, I need to go to the store. Or I need to go to the guild and recruit people. You do it. If you go to the store to buy equipment, there's two options usually. Usually your options are going to be either buy, sell, or buy and try. Always, in my opinion, do buy and try, because then you can go by each character and then you can see, is this a better equipment for this character than what they have? Otherwise, you have no idea. It doesn't really tell you unless you go to buy and try. We're gonna keep this mercenary from doing anything. Bam. And we're gonna go behind. Attacks from behind to always do more damage. So always attack from behind. But for now, we're just going to be like, attack. Bam. It does tell you chance to hit, and if it does hit, how much damage it's going to do, which is interesting. But you can at least see, hey, is it going to kill them if I do this? Bam. Regular attacks don't give you much experience, but defeating an enemy will give you more experience than just attacking. So defeating an enemy will definitely be worth it. Okay, the only thing that will change from what it says you'll do in damage is if you get a critical, then it will do more than that if you get that chance critical, but it just tells you what the regular damage is going to be, the chance of hitting. So we're going to attack. He's going to die anyway. They'll take him out, so done. Everything you expect in a tactics RPG is all here. Question is the game fun? Honestly, I'm enjoying this game. It is challenging, I will tell you. So one thing you'll notice too is as you get better equipment, even these low-level enemies will have their equipment improved. There is a game difficulty choice when you start a new game, and I'll show it to you as well. If you go to new game, again, you have difficulty presets, injury system, default, you can change that. Where injuries are permanent, you can have permadeath on your character. So like, basically like a character dies, you lost that character, so maybe a little more incentive. You can change this as much as you want. You can do veteran. Veteran has everything to default, but you can change that as well. Beginner has some things like 10% less stats for raw stat scaling, less encounters and all that. I'm playing on veteran right now. You can do hard mode, which is enemy scale level scaling max. Added enemies extra, so extra enemies to face. Enemy has more gear. You do very hard. Or custom. That's really cool that you can do that too. You can do like a custom playthrough of this. It makes your replayability of this. So even though, let's say you beat the main game, you can play this game again and say, you know what, I want the injury system to be permadeath. Injuries basically like reduce your stats, so when a character is defeated on the field, they're injured instead of killed, and they gain like a minus 5%, which over time they'll heal up and they'll be fine again. So you can do permanent injury, do permadeath. So much replayability with all these customizing options. You can really just play it as you will, play it as you want to. So yeah, I do recommend this game. This game, I would say, highly recommended. It's a fun game. It's enjoyable. There's so much to this game. Story-wise, it's a basic kind of political intrigue story. You start out with the Arbiter who enforces the law. You find a noble who is behaving badly. You arrest him after a initial battle to kind of get you used to the battle mechanics. And then you find out he becomes a marked, as someone who's going to take over for a member of the Immortal Council because someone's stepping down. So marked are chosen by each member of the council, and they go on a pilgrimage. They're also above the law, so they cannot be prosecuted for crimes. Even though we arrest him, he gets set free. But then we're chosen as a marked, the female main character, so she gets to chase after him. And even though she can't arrest him, she can at least fight him and kill him. So enact her own form of justice as a marked. And then it gets into like more intrigue, trying to figure out what's going on, what's the truth behind these shrines that we're going to, these temples we're going to, and it goes from there. I'm not going to tell you much more about the story, but yeah, it is a fun time. I'm enjoying my playthrough of this game. I look forward to finishing it. But that's my review of this game. It's definitely worth it, definitely fun. I recommend this game. If you happen to find it either full price and you want to play it, it's worth it. If you find it on sale, even better, because I'm all about sales and getting games at a good price. So definitely look forward to sales if you can get it on a good price. It's pretty much available on nearly every platform. So you can play this on almost every platform out there and enjoy it. So I encourage you, pick this one up. You'll have a fun time. If you like tactics RPGs, you will really enjoy this game. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you very much. You know the usual YouTube drill. And I do appreciate subscriptions. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you so much. Bottom of my heart, thank you. You don't have to. It's not required. I appreciate you just watching, but thank you for being subscribed. But until next time, stay awesome. And we'll see you then.